guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's vlog. It's Sunday, so I have a lot of barn chores to do. I bought new bedding for Happy, so I'm going to be putting that in his stall today, rebedding it, pulling out all the wet, all that stuff. And then I need to make up his feed bags. He needs me to dump new feed, so I gotta dump the 50-pound bag today. And then I'll do a turnout for him, and then after that I will ride. So come on, I'll show you guys. Thinks he's special. Huh. Happy. Just say hi to this horse. Silly. Alright guys, welcome to the voiceover. I did not at all talk during this vlog at the barn because there were a lot of people at the barn. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of talking going on before, but Happy was incredibly fresh for this ride. I don't know if it was the massaging that I did beforehand or he just was going to be fresh anyways, but he was wild. But the good thing about it is with a little bit of reprimanding, which I'm leaving this in, people can be upset that I yanked his face and made him stop, but I felt like I did that once, and after I did that and I said, hey buddy, let's pay attention, let's not act like ding-dongs, he was still fresh and he was still definitely looking, but he stopped bolting. That's always been Happy's issue. He's always been like wanting to bolt at things. He either bolts or he stops and spins, and he's stopped doing the stop and spin as much. He's just bolty at times, and sometimes if I feel it coming I can ride through it, and other times I just have to stop him cold and say, let's not do that. So that was what I just did there. And he still looked at it. He did get better throughout the ride, but he still looked over in that direction. And I honestly think he was just really fresh. And the last 2 times that I rode in this arena, we did canter sets. And so I think he just was like, well, that's what we're doing today. And when we didn't get to do it, as you saw him trying to canter off by the gate before he had his meltdown, I think he was just like, well, then I should bolt so that we can canter. So it's just like green brain horse things. But he was really, really, really good today. He warmed up super nice. I felt like he was really, really ahead of my leg, and after the first spook was mostly listening to me. I've been working really hard at trying to stay straight through my back and my shoulders, which I know I have a tendency to kind of collapse and twist, especially at the trot. You can see it when I post. But I've been working super hard on trying to keep that straight, and I can already see a difference. I went to a chiropractor too, which really, really helped, but I can already see a difference in just being conscious of it and watching how I ride. But I'm super happy with that. And we did this really awesome pull exercise that was already set up in the arena when I went in, which was basically just these pulls on a circle, which, as everyone knows, pulls on a circle are hard. But we did that, and he did really well. So I'll come back in if I feel like I need to talk about anything else. All right, I wanted to comment on Happy's canter transitions. So I remember a time, and you can go back in my vlogs probably a year or so ago and see his canter transitions and how bad they used to be. I actually used to edit them out. So he normally would drop his back, throw his head up, pin his ears, and go into the canter. And I really think that after working with our new trainer and getting him more on his hind end and getting him more pushing from his hind end, that was all a symptom of just being super weak behind and just not having the coordination. Because now I can ask for a canter from walk to canter, and I can ask from trot to canter, and he just kind of steps into it. There are some times where I think his legs kind of get all over the place and he has a struggle, but for the most part, I don't have any more fight like I used to have going into the canter. And I just want everyone to know that when I bought Happy, in order to canter Happy, I had to trot like the long side of the arena in order to actually get him to canter. So we went from basically having to trot an entire length of an arena to get him to canter to him stepping into the canter after a couple strides, or a couple steps actually, and doing a really nice job at it. So it can happen. It did take us about 5 years to get there, but it definitely can happen. And don't give up on your horse, because they can do it if you just really put the time in and really, really, really work with them. So we ended our ride there. He was really, really good. What I really liked about it was that he was listening. So whether I wanted him to slow down or speed up to get a longer distance, or slow down to get the ad, he really listened. And I was very happy about that. I didn't always choose the right distances and I didn't always do it right, but Happy was right there listening to me every time I asked him for something, and I could tell he was thinking when I was asking. So I was really, really happy with that ride. And then I did just a water with oil bath and wiped him down and then dried him off since it was pretty chilly at the barn.
Happy. Trying to steal my carrot. You gotta use these for carrot stretches, huh? Alright, here we go. Ready for your carrot stretches? He says, yes, please do that.
Alright guys, I'm sorry, this vlog I did not talk at all. There were so many people at the barn, and when I was filming my intro, one of the ladies that feeds was behind the paddocks, and I was so like stranger dangery. So I'm sorry there wasn't a lot of talking, but I did end up doing a lot of body work with Happy today. I wanted to see, he's been a little bit girthy, and so I wanted to see if using the little massage thing that I have that's supposed to kind of help with like myofascial release, is why it was given to me, would help him to relax that area and not be so like stressed when I tacked him up. I know there can be ulcers, I know it can be a myriad of things, but I recently changed out his gullet, so I know his saddle fits now. It was a little wide a couple weeks ago, so now it fits, and he still is that way. And you know, after doing that massage and working specifically on his pectoral muscles and like between his legs, his front legs, he was actually pretty fine. He had a very mild reaction to the saddle and was like totally chilled. So I've been wanting to get a total saddle fit anatomical like shoulder relief girth that has the elastic on the bottom. So hopefully I get that for Christmas, because I do think that will make a difference for him. So I did do that. I filmed that, and I wanted to put in footage of what he looks like when I'm doing that. So I hope that I got enough footage of his head. I guess you'll know already if you're watching this. And then we rode in the all-purpose, which was perfect because that's where I wanted to ride. And we just worked on canter circles over those two poles, which was really hard. And I was hoping to be able to work on getting the ads to them, but I realized that by focusing on doing the ad, it was really hard for me to even get a good pace. So then I just kind of turned the exercise into singing in my head and trying to just keep my pace consistent around the circle, which I think went really well in the end. He was super fresh, as you saw, really bolty, but he settled, which I'm happy if he settles in the ride. I don't need him to be like super deadhead right now, but as long as if he spooks, he comes back to me, that's all I care about. So it was a good ride, and I'm heading home now, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys stay tuned for next week's vlog, and it might be a lesson vlog because I have a lesson this week. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.